Hey, what the heck's going on? I'll tell you what it is. It's show and tell, but it's not Phil and Lamore. No, it's me, John Park. I fooled you. Were you expecting someone else? I bet you were. But I hope you enjoy this anyway, because I'm certainly excited about it. I'm certainly excited to see what people have brought by to the big, huge show and tell that we've got here on Adafruit, going on 37 years today. That's not true. I don't know how long we've been doing it, but for a while, right? All right, got to keep the excitement up, though. So let's go to our first guest. It is our good friend, Shawn Hemel. Hey, Shawn.
How's it going, John? Actually, let me turn off.
I'm doing well. How's oh, what you got? You got some buttons and clicky things happening here. What's new? Is that your AC?
Yeah, it is my AC. I've got a mini split unit up there. If you can see past the lights, and they're really loud. I forget to turn it off during live stream sometimes, so I was just turning it off. I'm like, oh right, I'm live. Let's do this.
So do people tell you? Do people notice it? Because everyone always tells me that they don't hear my AC, even though I'm super conscious of it. They say, no, we barely hear it.
No, I usually, people don't seem to notice it.
It seems impossible, but maybe the mics are just sort of local enough and not tuned to those frequencies. I don't know. I've got mine running today.
It's more apparent when I'm like listening and editing my own audio when I'm wearing headphones. That's where I really hear it.
Oh yeah, if you're recording it, forget it. It's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. So other than HVAC concerns, what have we got going on?
Okay, so my latest things that I've been working on with Digi-Key is this STM32 board, and it's an ST board. It's pretty slick, but the big thing is actually using octoproject to create my own Linux image, because I want to enable and disable certain drivers, write my own applications and whatnot. And if I remember back in the day, wow, it was like 6 years ago, Adafruit had their own like Raspberry Pi image, right? Am I remembering this correctly?
Yeah, that sounds really familiar, actually.
Okay, so I'm going through the process of learning the Octo project, which allows me to construct my own Linux image for this board. And you could do it for like Raspberry Pi, BeagleBone Black. There's all sorts of boards that are supported, and I'm learning how much of a pain it is to maintain and build all these things together. And what I wanted to share real quick is screen number 2. I am logged into my computer here. This is my little Linux box. I've actually logged into that STM32 board. This is my custom image that I've created using the Octo project. And what I did is whip up this really quick I2C sensor. It's not even really a driver. It's just a really basic application to read from the I2C device file, the dev I2C-1, if you're familiar with Linux at all. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to log into this single board computer that I've constructed my own image for.
Password was bow tie.
It's actually Tor, but that should have been a really good one. Now you know the secrets. You can hack all of my systems.
All your offline systems.
Yeah, exactly. And what I'm going to do here is, nope, wrong one. I'm going to look in user bin. And one of the cool things about Yocto project or BitBake or any of these like build root types of systems is I can create an application. This one's a C application, and it automatically cross compiles. And here's my application right here. It was gettemp.c. It was cross compiled and then just baked into this Linux image for me. So when I call it from the command line, it actually reads from that I2C sensor and gives me a reading. So the idea is I'm putting together this video series to show people how do you get started creating your own Linux images for single board computers. And you could do this for Raspberry Pi. You could do it for BeagleBone Black. I'm using this STM32 MP1 board. That's the idea of where we're going here. It's a good bit of a learning curve, especially for Yocto project. Buildroot lets you do it very quickly, but it lets you just kind of pull in modules and you have to recompile the whole kernel every time. Yocto does everything in layers, so you have a little bit more fine-tuned control, and just learning the terminology and what goes into like creating your own custom, not really creating a custom kernel, but like putting in certain device drivers and modules to make this work the way you want.
So this is something you're learning now and then creating a video series on how to do, or a tutorial series so people can build their own. That's cool.
Yeah, so they just started getting released on the Digi-Key YouTube channel, so feel free to check that out if you have any curiosity in
I
how
do
to
have
create.
curiosity, yeah.
Oh, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, I don't want to do it, but I just want to know about it.
I can't
At
say
least I
I
say that
blame you.
now. At least I say that now.
Oh, you might not like it. It is a learning curve, and you fight with Linux. One does not simply use Linux.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a relationship. It's a back and forth.
It is. It has its uses. I love Linux. Don't get me wrong. It has its uses, but it's been a fight, especially to get like networking going. Like Wi-Fi has just been horrid. So that's been an adventure.
Yeah, the classic one is audio with jack, and like if you're trying to do any of the sort of microphone and synthesizer and all these areas where people are wanting to make little embedded things that do cool stuff, it's like kind of perfect, except for it's also this giant battle with jack or the other audio
ALSA drivers.
ALSA, yeah.
I had a quick question in the YouTube comments. Somebody saying I'm clipping, so I'm probably getting too loud. That might be a me problem rather than a mic problem. And they're saying, what are the advantages of doing this over a Raspberry Pi OS, like Raspbian, or I guess it's Raspberry Pi OS these days? That comes with the kitchen sink. That is a full-fledged operating system. It's got a GUI, it's got networking, it's got the sound drivers, and it just all comes in there. And it's like, what is it, like 8 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes? It's huge.
Massive. Yeah,
and it takes forever to boot. Yep. And it takes forever to boot. People generally want to create their own custom Linux images when you're trying to create, say, an IoT device that you deploy to a bunch of areas. And for whatever reason, you need Linux. And so by scaling it down, I can actually fit Linux, this entire thing, on like, I don't know, 12 megabytes. Like you can get it to boot in like a tiny fraction of the space of like big Raspberry Pi OS.
Sure. And if you're deploying a thing to share with the world, you've made your support job so much easier if you make a very bespoke little distribution to give to people. I've run across these with like some of the camera ones, is like a Raspberry Pi distribution that's just for making like a little household security cam kind of thing. It's small. It just has a few things in there that are ready to go, so you don't end up wondering what you're doing with Minecraft on there.
Yeah, and boot time's a big one too. So rather than wait like a full minute, you're booting in like 2 seconds.
Not many services. Well, very cool. We're looking forward to the progress on that, and I might even dip in. So
sweet.
Thanks for sharing that. All right,
thanks for having me on, John.
Time. Sure thing. Bye bye. All right. Next up, we've got our good friends Noe and Pedro. Hey guys,
John.
What's
new?
Folks.
Hey. Okay, so this week, a request from PT, who has been watching out of the Suicide Squad, and super happy because some of the boards from Adafruit were in there. So he requested a flexible 3D printed Starro Facemask. So this is a custom model that is modeled around the Halloween M4. So just a simple little model that just goes on your face. It's all printed with NinjaFlex. And earlier on the 3D Hangout show, there was a lot of discussions on like how to get your profiles to get printing really good. So a lot of banter on like, how to do your profiles with like a Bowden printer, which was one of the things we were discussing that I had accidentally did to print one of the models. We were actually able to get that to work the 85A, which is like the elastic, the TPE version of the NinjaFlex. So, and then like a lot of other things around it, like being able to airbrush it, so you can do like a lot of fine details. Myself, and by no means like an airbrush expert, so I was able to get like some, okay.
It looks nice. The gradients there look nice.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. So discussions about that, and then like having it like accessible to be able to reach the on and off buttons, and then like have little ports for having like the rechargeability with the Halloween that you have on there. And then just the construction of it, like using the NinjaFlex filament to actually have the straps, so you can have that on your head. And of course, you can't really see when you put it on, but you can kind of adjust it. If you wear glasses, you can like kind of see. Yeah, you can kind of see, sort of out that way. But just simple little projects to sort of just highlight that, hey, we have like a bunch of spools in the Adafruit shop. I think they're like $30 compared to like $60 like somewhere else.
Wow.
So. Yeah. Definitely go pick those up. We got a bunch of those spools in the Adafruit shop, and watching later tonight on Ask an Engineer, you can even get that 10% discount code. So definitely put that in the cart, get some of those out there. We also have like the glow in the dark ones. There's a lot in the Discord too. A lot of people wanted to do like the silhouettes and things like that. We have like the glow in the dark Ninja Flux as well, and of course the Halloween's they're in stock. We have the M0 ones in stock, and over at Digi-Key we have the M4 ones in stock. Really cool orange ones, and yeah, just some Fusion discussions using the freeform tool. So definitely check that out.
For sure, yeah. And is that did you say you were successfully printing that with a Bowden tube based printer?
Yeah, I mistakenly printed because I was printing both sides, and only one of the printers is the direct drive, and the other one is the Bowden, and it was able to print with the same settings. So definitely a good thing to try out. And then just some of the discussions on like printing on a PEI sheet, like how to have your initial layer height and the speed and the heat and all that stuff. So
are those tips that you'll be putting into a guide as well?
Yes, it's in the guide. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. The guide went. I think Lamar made the guide live Tuesday or something. So all the settings in there, and then we have a GitHub repo too that has every single one of our profiles for all of the different printers that Adafruit has gotten in. We made profiles for those and just uploaded on our GitHub.
Good. I want to print squishy stuff. Thanks for sharing that. It looks really fun and.
Right, add some servos onto that and like have it like do some, with some sound effects or something, have it go around. And that's one of the other things too. You can do like some heat forming, and your newest guide showing how to do like when you did the coiling with the USB cable. I think you can do like some heat to have this stay nice and curved.
That's interesting.
So lots of nice little cool properties with the flexible filaments.
Cool. That's cool. All right, I'm getting some. You've sold me on it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, it's free for you.
All right, JP.
Thanks, JP.
Bye. Yes. All right. Next up, we may have Scott, if he gives me the thumbs up in his little tiny thumbnail view that I see down there. And hey, Scott.
Hello. It's not working that well, but I thought I'd go anyway.
Right on. Do you want your second screen?
Yes, please. So what I've been working on the last couple days is getting TinyUSB, which is our USB stack that we use in CircuitPython, and a lot of people have picked it up for other stuff. It's a fully open source MIT licensed USB stack, which is really cool. And I'm working on getting it running on a Raspberry Pi 4, not an RP2040. It already runs there. That's their microcontroller, but actually their Cortex A level stuff. So what you would traditionally think of as a Raspberry Pi. So what I've got here on the right-hand side is you can see I got some UART output. The hello from CM4 was sent out from a compute module on the IO board. Unfortunately, and I thought I'd pick people's brains, so let me switch. I realized I have cat cam that I can treat as a flying camera. So here's my setup, and maybe it'll focus. So I've got like the compute module, the IO board, and then this is the UART lines, and this is obviously an apple that I was eating. But I thought I'd ask people, have you seen where the SD card doesn't stick? I've been using this all of today, and it just started happening to me like as I was trying to get this going.
I've never run into that ever on any SD card. So that's a pain.
I think I did accidentally pull it out once. Because it is like a push pull, and they warn you about that. But I tried a second card, and it does the same thing.
So it must be a little catch that's not.
I can feel it like try to catch, but not obviously not succeed. So I'm on Discord, and I'm on on the YouTube chats too. So if somebody's had this problem before and you know how to like coax it, let me know, because it's gonna make it even worse for me to deal with if I have to hold it in there every time.
I mean, I know we have some extenders that are like a ribbon cable with a slot that you could probably tape in the in position and then use the other end for swapping, like a little, maybe something like that will help.
Yeah, I was also thinking like maybe I'd try to actually like order that part off Digi-Key and swap it out. But
right.
That's more work. Actually, you know what? I think I have a second IO board. That's the fastest thing, probably. But it's frustrating because I've only been using it today and yesterday. So
we got a comment on YouTube that I've fixed a non-staying micro SD card on a Pi using gaffer tape.
Gaffer tape, yeah, I could tape it
in there.
I'll just have to find my other IO board. They're $35 a piece, but me holding it in there is
remove the spring, says someone else, and duct tape. All right, we got some good solutions.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'll check those out after I'm done chatting with you.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks for coming by, and good luck with the board and the USB stack.
Yeah, thank you. It should be really cool. I'm excited to get people excited about it.
Very cool. All right. Thanks, and enjoy your Gravenstein apple.
Thanks, John.
All right. Oh, let's see. Next up, we've got our. Let's see who's in here. We have some people moving around. Here's Liz, Blitz City DIY. Let's bring Liz on. Hey, Liz.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. How many of these cameras are yours? I see a couple things that maybe are you.
I have my screen shared with some like weird things happening. Yeah. So this is the 13:9 stemma LED matrix.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do an audio visualizer with it. And so this is Jeff Epler's microlab code that I converted to run on a matrix. So you can see it kind of adjusting to my voice, but you'll see it more if I tap the mic on the feather sense for getting some blue going on there. So that was kind of the first step because microlab uses NumPy, so it iterates through data a lot faster than if you're trying to pull it in direct. I'm still kind of learning about it, so next I'm hoping to like maybe do some like custom visualizations and change up the colors and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Good. Well, I think you're on the bleeding edge of using this this module, so it's fun to see some demos with it. Thank you for tackling that.
Of course. Yeah. I was really hyped when it came out, and I like colors and music reacting together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be a fun one. And it's nice that it's just Stemma QT, so you can just kind of pop it into a lot of existing projects without much work.
Yes, definitely.
Very cool. All right. Well, thanks, Liz. We'll look forward to seeing this progress.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to move on quickly so we can get through in time and still have time for Ask an Engineer get started. So let's see. Next up, we've got our friend TodBot here. Let's see. Looks like he's ready to go. Got the thumbs up. And hey, Todd, is one of these screens yours as well? Are you sharing?
Yeah, there's a code screen, a GitHub code screen that you can put up whenever you want.
There it is. I found it. All right.
But first, instead of making that big, make my video big. So I've got a MacroPad here, and I'm going to switch the camera if I can still remember how to do that. Here we go. So this is the Space Invaders icons doing a very non-Space Invaders-y tweening. Or easing, that if you ever done animation, easing in and out is a very common thing, and the code is really simple. It's basically the same code you've ever seen for easing, where basically you have a linear interpolation function that goes between a start and an end point that's moderated by a time variable that goes between 0 and 1, and then you change what time means. Like, if I instead of making it just linearly going from 0 to 1, I make it go like a square and then an inverse square. It gives you that sort of like speed up and then slow down.
Exponential, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So like you get like quadratic functions, then cubic functions, and quartic functions, and these are all like really well known. So you can just like plop them in. But I was playing around with this because I thought it would be very funny to have the Space Invaders that move very strictly in a this very like sort of fluid way. And so this is just a real this is on GitHub. It's on
it's great.
In my GitHub in TodBot/CircuitPython Invaders.
I love it.
And it's super simple. There's a little thing object that basically does all the object updating, just like my Staroids. And then the linear interpolation stuff is at the very top, where you get like the ease in and out, just like you've seen it before.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it also looks like they're at a flash mob or something, doing a funky dance that they've all agreed upon. They're in sync in a delightful way. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Right. Thank you for sharing that. I look forward to playing with it. Really love it. Great job. Take care. All right. Let's see. Next up, we're going to bring on not that, but Cedar Grove. If you're ready to go, let's see what's happening. Hey, how you doing?
Hey there. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great.
Super. I've been working on a CO2 monitor, as probably a number of people know. My nephew is asthmatic, and it's pretty important for him to be able to monitor CO2 levels and particulate levels. So I decided to put together a portable job for him so he could do the monitoring when he's camping.
Oh, that's great.
And so it's based on, I think you can see that. It's based on the pybadge, but it's also compatible with the Pi Gamer, with EdgeBadge, Pi Portals, and I've got it running on the Q and the Funhouse too.
Oh, wow.
So right now, this is just the CO2 monitor, and thanks to Effects Music, let's see, where is that? Right here. It can switch over to another language mode, and if I hold on to that. So we're switching over to German.
Uh-huh.
And good grief, it's a little bit CO2-y in here. Anyway, yeah, there is a pirate mode too, but that's kind of iffy to use, and it doesn't really help you a whole lot. But anyway, the next step is to attach the particulate monitor to this, and then it'll be mounted in a ruggedized Pelican case like this, so that he can take it camping with him and set it up in the tent and know what's going on.
Oh, that's terrific. Really beautiful build. I love the attention to detail with your UI. Makes it easy for people to use, I think.
That was a lot of fun. Making it compatible with all the rest of the boards was a great educational experience.
I'll bet. Yeah. Well, I look forward to looking through that code sometime. Thanks for sharing that.
Okay.
See you next time. All right. Let's see. Next up, we've got Odd J. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Nice to see you. What's new?
This guy, actually.
Hey.
I'm working on a new smaller version of Ozzy to be like worn on your head for like Halloween.
Love it.
It's like one of my newest designs. I took an old design and reworked it a bit. And cool thing about this one, it runs simply on a small Adafruit trinket. And it just looks around. And thanks to the design, you can easily just put on top of your head, move the legs a bit to kind of hold onto your head, and bam. Got a little robot on your head.
So cute. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to make it a bit smaller, so I'm still working on a smaller version just in case. But hoping I can like get this all videoed up and sent out at the end of this month.
Ah, it's such a great looking build, and the types of functions you have on it right now are like is it like a randomized motion?
Randomized motion, yeah. I just have to look around. I don't want I'm just left work recently, so I'm finally being a full-time maker. So I'm trying to make my first little thing really easy and simple to follow along with. Eventually, we'll get to the bigger stuff like the AI stuff. But for right now, I'm trying to go for small designs and cute stuff that people can just easily print.
That's exciting. That's a great idea. And then it can also be a platform for further exploration by people if they get it up and running. And are any of those files out there and shared yet? Are you posting things like 3D models?
And then it will all be posted and everything once at the end of the month. I'm hoping on make.io and, of course, Adafruit processes. But if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you will see it first, and then you can go and take care of it.
So great. Thanks so much, Jay, and congratulations on moving into full-time makering.
Yeah, thanks.
Take care. All right, next up, we've got Doctor. So we'll bring Doctor onto the stream. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Going great. Nice to see you. What's happening?
All right, so I was looking at my smartwatch, which has seen some better days. It decided that it was a good time to lose the strap entirely, so I've been holding it on with bandages, and I thought, maybe I should make my own version. So I thought, hey, what's cooler than a smartwatch? A Pip-Boy. So I decided I'm going to make my own version, something a little different, not just a clone of a Pip-Boy, but starting off with just a Feather RP2040 GPS module. Figured I'll add a bunch of sensors that might be useful. So far, I don't have a lot going on, but I've got my SD card for data logging. Currently, it's just doing battery. I've got the LC709203F for monitoring the battery levels. And you can see the console up on there has my current location, which is not the full location just because I don't need people showing up at my door. But you can see it's monitoring battery as it's recording. So I want to try to take that data and see if I can also use it for something like Map My Run to see if I can move my GPS data up there so I can work walks, or if I find a point of interest, I plan on having some I/O so I can just hit a quick button, tag a GPS location, and if I want to go back, I can make notes later. Gonna have a nice big sharp memory display, but haven't gotten that quite working yet. So I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, that'll be a nice Pip-Boy size, I think.
Yeah, so that'll take up a good chunk of my arm. Yeah. So once I've got that, it's gonna start coming together pretty quick. So
really cool, good, exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing the progress on that as you go. Thanks for sharing it, and come on back anytime you got more.
I certainly will.
Take care. All right, we've got Mark Hughes ready to go, I think. Let's bring on Mark. Hello.
Hi, JP. Nice to finally meet you. I'm Mark.
Hey, really nice to meet you.
How's your day
going? What you got going on here today?
Well, last year, I taught a course where we provided free boards, free assembly, free parts, free everything. We had over 600 engineers sign up, and I just got the nod from the sponsors. We're doing it again.
Oh,
so
great.
If you have any engineers that are looking to learn how to do PCB design, this time it'll be with an emphasis on signal integrity.
Great.
Come check it out. This time we're making keyboards. I don't want to say I stole the idea from you, but I totally stole the idea from you.
Nah, there's no such thing. There's no stealing of ideas.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do macro keyboards with the RaspberryPi Pico. Parts for at least 20 people. I'm sorry, 25 people, and PCBs for hopefully everybody. So that's what we're doing.
Oh, that's really great. And people will have the opportunity to learn the PCB design from the ground up and then get boards made. Is that the goal?
Well, one of the sponsors is the same people that makes the Oshpark boards. So we're hopefully going to just be able to ship them out the boards.
Really cool.
Yeah. So that was all.
Exciting. Well, thanks. And so people can head to teachmepcb.com, I'm guessing, if they want to learn more about that.
Sign up, and we'll be ready to go in early October.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much.
Hey, no, JP, thank you.
No, thank you.
No.
All right. Is that everyone? I saw that we did have one camera up here called Mouse, and it has what looks like a EuroRack synthesizer. So I'm just going to go to it. Is there a person on the other end of this line?
Yeah, right here. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
All right. So yeah, a few weeks ago, I showed off a little power supply to sort of tease this project, and this is what I'm doing with it. I'm trying to make a entire EuroRack modular synthesizer, except for one module. Yeah, so the one module I didn't make is this one here, which is a computer interface, which is great because you can actually have a virtual modular synth on your computer and hook it up to your real one, so I can actually play with my modules without having to make all the modules first.
Yes. It's a gateway in.
It is, yeah. And this is a prototype module, which is a breadboard on a module. Wow.
Neat.
Which is great because then you can test out your circuits and you've got all the power supply and the jacks and everything. My first real module here, this is a sample and hold with a noise generator and a clock. And I'm using this sort of kit prototype DIY system to make to implement them.
Is that the one from Delptronics?
It is the Delptronics one.
Okay, so it's like a
yeah, I can show you the next one because I can take it right out.
Cool.
Yeah, the next one is an LFO, which is digital. It's an Arduino, Adafruit Atmega shipped there with the bootloader. Neat. And this is only half done. I have it flashing the LED, but I don't have it. I don't have the DACs and op amps, and I'll just unplug this. Yeah, so this is what I'm using to make them so far. It's you can see it's got like a proto board here to wire up your stuff, and it has a board that you mount controls on and a front panel where so you just pick whatever controls you need and drill the holes and mount everything.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so that's what I have so far.
Love it.
And
whoops, where'd we go? Yeah, so, I soloed me. Sorry about
that. Yeah, so it's at some point I'm going to have to learn to make my own PCBs because some of the modules are a little too complicated to do with this in this sort of format here.
Hey, well, you'll never believe it, but the last guy, Mark Hughes, has a
oh yeah.
So go check out. I think it was teachmepcb.com.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be one of the 25. Excellent. Well, we got to run so they can get Ask an Engineer started. Thank you so much for showing that. Please come on back anytime to show us more modules. It's really neat. All right, and that's going to do it for Show and Tell. I'm John Park, and you should stay tuned because next up is going to be Phil and Lamore with Ask an Engineer. Bye-bye, everyone.